The Frontline with Kwikwanan, only on CTV.
The avalanche of prophecies that surfaced during the just-ended NPP flag bearership race. Some renowned men of God have weighed in on the growing controversy, strongly condemning what they describe as, quote, lifestyle prophecies, unquote, gradually creeping into Christian households. Tonight on GPS, the Frontline show, we speak with a media mogul who began raising concerns long before now, as he shares his views, perspectives, and analysis on this troubling trend. I am Kweku Annan, and this is your GPS, the Frontline, live tonight on dozens of stations picking the feed. We begin with our very own, of course, live in Sunyani on 88.1 FM. We're live in the Western region on Tadi 99.1 FM, and of course in London, the feed is on GOB Broadcasting on modernghana.com, and TuneIn, still on GOB, the feed is on www.gobtv.tv plus Apple Music. The information super dial tonight is live on my CTVGH, simple, my CTVGH and the Frontline Ghana. And please make sure you subscribe and you are cool to go with the nation's biggest investigative magazine show, of course, the GPS show. That's the Frontline. Tonight, we are bringing you the very last edition of the week we call the Weekend Frontline. Tonight, the show, of course, is live across all the 16 regional capitals. We begin from Upper East, West. Northern region has just picked the feed. And of course, we slope down to Ashanti region capital, Kumasi, all the way to Eastern region, Brong-Ahafo, the nation's capital, Accra, has picked the feed. And then we move to Volta region, Central region, Western region, plus the 6 regional capitals. This is the Frontline. Folks, tonight, call a friend, call a brother. And of course, you have to gauge the space what we are bringing to you. If you recall, on Monday, we started this very special edition we title Politics and Prophecy. Tomorrow, Saturday, would be 1 week. 1 week ago, we all saw what happened. The length and breadth of the country. Prophecy gallop prior to yesterday. Last year, it was all of that nonsense, prophecies galore everywhere. Avalanche of prophecies catched across the social media space. Some of you were hearing it on your radio. Some of you were hearing it on your television. Everywhere. Prophecies here, prophecies there. And then you ask the question, why these prophets are so busy, very busy. Your prophets were so busy prophesying on what? Politics of a group of people who, were preparing to just go gather themselves and elect. They are just preparing to gather and elect who should lead them in an election of 3 years to come. And your men of God were so busy, very, very busy prophesying, telling the politician who is going to win and all of that. And you ask the question, what sense does it make? Why? Whilst these prophets were seriously busy doing this business, at their backyard, in their churches, in their synagogue, in their cathedrals, in many places, flooded these Ghanaians, wondering where the next meal is coming from, wondering what to do, asking for hope, believing that his man of God has the hope and can prophesy hope to him. And here comes, they are nowhere to be found. Their prophets, their men of God have stepped outside the church, and they are somewhere else busy prophesying for the politicians that it is this man who is going to win, this man is going to win. And their members are also there wondering, throwing their hands in despair to catch a glimpse, whilst their men of God are busy out there Do you think the politicians need them? Answer is no. Tonight, on this special edition, I'm bringing you yet another thing to look at. But of course, don't lose the focus that yes, the frontline biggest expose is here to hit the screens. And I'm sure many of you are preparing yourselves, right? I'm sure by next week, we're going to do something. Many of you have had, some very rough encounter with these prophets. And we are going to be specific. Not today. Next week, we'll do that. So if you've gone through the hands of some prophets or some sort, we'll give you numbers. Bring your case on, you table your case, and then we'll find a way to investigate it, add it to what we have already investigated, and then we push all the biggest expose soon to hit your screens 2026. Folks, don't joke. Tonight, we are coming to face yet another prophecy galore. To, as it were, telling who wins, who doesn't win, and all of that. And what sense does it make? Now, if you even prophesy, if you prophesy that, oh, this man will win, and so what? These are things I want you to gauge. Even if you prophesy that Baumia wins or Kennedy Japan wins, and so what? So what should we do? How, what importance? What is the significance of it? Oh yes, Baumia won, or Kennedy Japan, or who else? Dr. Osei Duchum, and who else? Kwabene Japan and the rest. Yes, so Kwabene Japan wins, and so what? What next? So what is the business of it? Look, you are not prophesying, not even that of your prophesying for the national assignment. You are prophesying who leads the NPP. But who leads the NPP? What business does that got to do with Ghanaians? Does that put a food on the table? Does that reduce the inflation as we are talking about it today? Does that bring to bear us today? Your president John Dramani Mahama is talking about what? Before he leaves office, he will make sure Ghana has a reserves of what? 20 billion United States dollars. That is what Ghanaians are looking for. Before he leaves office, he says he would have to leave, surplus of what? 20 billion dollars. So we can use it for anything. Aren't Ghanaians interested in this? Practicality of our politicking, of our democracy, the welfare of the people. Then you sit in your corner in your church and you are busy like Elbernared was busy the whole of last year. Elbernared spent all of his time, not in his church, but he spent it all over hoovering from media space to another media space. What was he doing? Prophesying, busy, prophesying, oh yes, Kennedy Japan will win. And then he continued to talk about what? Some funny angel. And today he comes back to tell us that, hey, he's not going to preach for how many days, weeks, months, some years. Because what? He got it all wrong. By the way, if he had kept quiet, zip his lip, and hang himself in his church to see to the welfare, the spiritual welfare and the well-being of his people, what would have happened? Would he by now be taken to the cleaners? Would he by now be facing the court of public opinion? Would he by now be facing the avalanche of criticisms? They are taking him to the cleaners. He brought upon himself the agony and the ecstasy. So, who cares? Tonight, we are going to go into the part 2, still on the bill. I'm sure many of you have heard one of the greatest gospel singers of our time, Ron Kenoly, of course, has passed on at the age of 81. Tonight, we eulogize him here on this program, particularly those of you in the charismatic world. Ron Kenoly has affected many people spiritually, physically, through his ministry of what? The ministry of songs. Yeah, in many diverse ways. Of course, if you recall, Ron Kenoly also made a trip to Ghana in 2019, if you recall, the year of return, and he was planning to, step here again and fratern with us, and unfortunately, he's gone. This is a man, his exemplary order lines cannot pass unnoticed. Whether you like it or not, his music, his songs impacted on the people of this country and the global world, the Christian community. What about you? You are a man of God, you are a prophet. Ask yourself these questions. What is it that your ministry of fake prophecy, your lies, your crooked way of doing things, and how you can stand, behind your pulpit and tell a lie? What impact is your ministry affecting the people in the church? Or rather, you are causing destruction to God's people, is it not? God is about to expose you. Tonight, we'll pay a tribute to Ron Kenoly by, we would shortly speak to Ron Kenoly's manager. Yeah, his manager, of course, he, doubles up as a Ghanaian. I don't know if you know that Ron Kenoly's manager is a Ghanaian, of course, my own brother. Yeah, he manages Ron Kenoly. And they were just, preparing to step down, unfortunately. We'll pay some tribute to Ron Kenoly. And then we'll go on as usual. We'll bring you sights and sounds of another batch of your prophets. Fake ones, fake liars, crooks, thieves, criminals, who were all out there prophesying. And then tonight, we'll speak to a media mogul, a personality, a talk shop host. Of course, he began this crusade way back. I was a young guy and I was understudying him. In our journalism, you don't know? He began this crusade against fake men, fake pastors, fake prophets, fake bishops in this country. And they were trying to say that, yes, at that time, they pronounced him, They pronounced him that he's an antichrist. And of course, today, he hasn't relinquished the effort of continuing doing what he's doing. And who is this person? Kweku Sinti Misa, KSM. Yeah, he's going to join me tonight. Call a friend, call a brother, call a sister. We sit here together, we think and talk and make a sense of it all. Yes? Tonight, you're watching from whichever corner. Let your brother know what is going on. Let your sister, your girlfriend, your mom, your whoever, join the show and let's lift this up. Whatever that we are to do, to reduce, we know we cannot eradicate them entirely, but if the political system, the political class can begin to set rules and regulations, their laws are there. Go and read, the National Communications Act. The laws are there against these charlatanic prophecies. Go and read the PNDC law, it's there. Go and read the 1963 laws, it's there. Go and read the current constitution, the 1992 constitution. Provisions are made to curtail these people, and your political class are refusing to do what is right. Why? Because they are in cahoots. They are marching here. Politicians are here, your fake prophets are here, and they are both they are trotting, going. We are in a troubling times. Folks, let's get started. Here. And I dream komo papa. Ubekaya wiki yedin komo se. Ese se yeden yema yinibre ewo asofo, particularly prophets for no wo mo ya dadafo and pro akuhwisam and nabrabafo ewudifo ewurikafo wo mu guomemu and a political class in a protectum. That's the danger part of it. The political class continue to protect these people. That is the danger part. Say ye near the mrano e crash woman to me granny mirika tu papa be granny up baby afa. Woman sorrow na kro me granny eja ho. But the political class they protect them. And see, they feel they continue to have a safe haven. Say, mummy and shahani ni edumasa. Eja politicians neni ene eko. Anadri yebabi di omusu juma sonko pa. Ebium the other bells no so saying me sure say what musician kese pa na to say ni nnwom ne de bibire munim, especially more charismatic way no charges in munim no. Ron Kenoly, one of the greatest gospel singers of our time. We free him at the age of 81. Now, when him say Ron Kenoly, now, me utresi ne background, utresi ya BP Ghana has say, ne ancestral lineage. It's no more your arrangement, no more seeing back. Okay, 2019, Ron Kenoly in the group. That is the year of return, Omoba has say. And I will try to eulogize Ron Kenoly. His music, of course, his songs that has impacted on many people, hundreds, thousands, and millions around the world, particularly in the Christian community all over the world. Idruma waye, idruma Ronebeka and the exemplary order lines cannot pass unnoticed. As he didn't home come near she idruma. And numpen and war too. And no more two yana ama enipa bebre etimi ben onyankopon. Ehunyankopon enim nyam enna me bisa asofo no mgo no say edwuma wo ye wa saw them no impact ben na eye manipa no we fra saw them no wugina abonte wugina simpie so na wo hye nkom no wo hye ama politician edwintifo amadwini nya edwuma wo hye nkom no de ama politician obi say politician na wa hwe Woma is so busy, say, Womo Shan come the MPP party or Moko Yubi man abedi party in. Yes, ye called national election. Now, so we prophesy, say, it's me see no, but it's a major pump no be MPP anymore. And so, yeah, then I be ye Nipano no what Wahono. Do you know what Boko no? Do you know what voter region no? Do you know what Krahano? Then office a ben. Then a ben. It's yet to my bow me, I dare chin and about me, now was sister NPP, now affected Ghana. Now, she said, why so busy now? Yeah, busy, no mugusun, and a year day. Wait, no, my share. Dan say, you move a shan combi to say, dear, and the President Mahama, Ejina no more. Or say answer an administration be face you off no, or be making sure say this kakesi be $20 billion. What be that? $20 billion na or make sure says can ye benya dia to foto anim okwa nechi no says can da ho says can na ebe bo man ho bra when ye friend leader wodwene leader well focus on him dia woye na woni ma dia asem osan kaka ho asem kaka ho bi me san ye ni je ne say all the kind of say the minerals to say gold to say bauxite and other stuff the person chen is there sa nyoma we ye fen kwa ma no ne biom enko mine wo ho ye be mine ni na wo Ghana ye be mine sa nyoma ni na e wo Ghana de na akono se ye be mine sa nyoma ni na wo ha John Mahama comes to next to another leader obedi on my way so and that is why Lieutenant General friend saying Kutu Echampon Nabreso and also yes ono no eso jeni at that time no na Ghana your resources in that say gold diamond bauxite timber rosewoods near there abrofo ni twani na de ko amanoni o including the bauxite na so no de ko no hwade o won so mo refine wa ha ye benya dodo no including even the byproducts na mani ade it abrofo no womu twedua na mama Ghana percentage kito ebe no masesa raw materials ni adeko no mo de kwa in refining no womu nye nyoma bebre just womu Ghana Eurade Africa yes see a poto it womu wie no manya the fine products no the byproducts no so ade a eye no mai be ne yanwini say no woni ba de hwe before then Kwame Nkrumah would be taken over fence and toppled no na Kwame Nkrumah ayesa provision to say or ma abrofana to ho say they be say na see arrange and so one of the loyalists called Kweku Boateng wrote a document prepared in order to anche and a wa grove way the US government led by their CIA will move through Nkrumah and Nkrumah Koi. But then Nkrumah Koi, that document was still in the archives. Kutu Echampo also by after Kutu Echampo O2, the Progress Party led by Dr. Kofi Abrefa Buziano. Buzia there's one no baby dia grobi keke. Now, and Kutu Echampo ko fast our document and he say he read the document, then he decreed or decree no say hence all companies are more foreign companies are more Ghana. Listen. Bibia mutu o Ghana hano. The government of Ghana must get the greater percentage. The lesser no momonfa eno. So no, even though Ushemwa na refinery be enia, but on make it a decree ni say ye be refine o ye refine o ye as the greater part of it. Check it, the Fourth Republican Constitution, any leaders and any more answer John Mahama take his initiative. All of them by then on there. Former President Kufuor laid a red carpet. Right? He laid a red carpet at the Mawine New Months of War. And we know, or signs so a more tax exemption of all their caterpillars and their hardwares. More from no say red carpets moments from Momra Castle, better did no me a new monto. And we are director of Monko. One of Ghana's food basket growing area. And at the same time, that location and so it produce one of Ghana's major exports and at the cocoa, brim, ahafo, Kenya say, Kona Koredo Mayo, New Montayo. O must say farmlands in Inam. Negu. Farmlands no protected the indigenous crime. You're saying in want of what? Gold. So maybe say the people of Kenya say, brim ahafo. One what Thomas saying. We are now Western region. Now what say? And one year to a Western region. Forget about Ghana. Yembisa say the people of Western region saying no more benefits a free oil. How many millions of crude oil, barrels of crude oil, and year to the Kwaman on it? Forget about Ghana. Say with how much of a percentage we consume. The Western region people, what my consume is saying. How the lives of Western region are improving on the back of what? Crude oil. Nothing. Penny phone sisi ha. Ni no mo ya na percentage no mo achiche amomo ho. Womo sisi o, they are not in government o, but at the sale of every product be an a percentage in the bomb. They say mu nipa we can offer he should be shot by sight. Swear God, that guy, when you're careful, that wouldn't be Drew Ghana. Nipa be chin we airport to finish. I'm telling you, national security. Munjeni. Obi Zawai Ken Oforiata me say de biara obesi mudi besi airport. Ha. Me dem mama sutre. Manjeni a airport wono onru ni fie na asem bia de na asem ko. Ate. What's your name? Na nipa bia yo madwen se wo mo ba be di o man so na mo de adwen bone ne huhum bone ne sunsun fi e de be show man so na o ma say o man ne keke na enya wo de say na wo president ne say no obe make sure 20 billion mati bi da $20 billion unim how much or Trump ti America ho no say or buy 1 year with me rollouts or the US government. He's talking about some trillions of dollars. Na say to me mobilize bear fan say 20 billion krana John Mahama do good coffers cinema. See betimi the aboy ho braka crow. Anya no, the national debt against our debt portfolio no. You balloon sir. Kwahwe mo debt portfolio. He would say, yet we have nothing to show. What do you have to show? What have you done with this debt? All the time, governments after government seem incapable of reversing the trend. And you know what? We must try as best as we can to reverse this dependency syndrome of each government, MPP, NDC, 33 years. You continue to walk down the aisle into the corridors of who? IMF. Aren't you ashamed? Despicably shameful people. Aren't you ashamed? Let's commend the president. So, obi entinya yeza sojeni try. Sojeni ni free up na bibia boy. Ama mpenimfo amabe na muboto. Many of your presidents have percentages in most of Ghana's work. Akufo-Addo you see the gold be called JC. ewo London ni de kosi awa na ede mfaso ede abre Ghana for unim de ye fana say 5% no mo yi 4% out of it no mo de 1% akoto consolidated fund ade no mutiri mo den sa Ofuriata share America right now and ono Ofuriata has the guts, the nerves, the effrontery. Ne bibia anyame Ofuriata crowd on nasem crowd here ono nankasa no personified ne hamadwini o na emu matahofo no like Kwabena Bonfe ono friend who doctor professor whatever Kwabena Kabela Bonfe ono and then the likes of my own colleagues say when Paul Adumo Chenam any a lawyer like what's the name of that lawyer? Frank Davis. Plus other lawyers would come on radio and television. You come and do yourself such a dishonesty. Come and discuss the issues. Mobe discuss it in some na mobe catch the Ghana for say yentiase say send your bino and try Ofuriata in absentia there and Ofuriata has his right to stay there. God damn. Me tio mosam say e bibia Ghana edroni enne mumutumi sorry kasachre Ghana for so Ofuriata e won the right says or tena Ghana na me ba o abra no oti oye sana hine na sana finance minister na or running ministry no or running the enterprise assurance and I know or running a transition and I know or running a data bank. And I said, no, running a business. Emma, the people of this country, therefore, use some of these unscrupulous, dishonest, call yourself intellectuals. To say Kabelanum, Kwabena Bonfenum, any Paul Adumochene, the most annoying one among them, Frank Davis, got the nerves to tell the people of this country, said, dear, Yemakwine, I opan or Baopama. Sir, no, said, no, that guy, has to run an accountability to the people of this country. He still worship. He must render it because he did not work in his bedroom. He worked for the people of this nation, and therefore he owes it a duty. It's a must. Njene obi so betimi ediska na owie ya pabam na we dwane akɔhye hefa Antarctica or say me ma wo. Mon try me in absentia. As if though the laws, it's as they speak to us to make us feel as though the laws wrote itself, or otherwise, say this way: the laws was written for man, or man wrote the law for the law. Which one? Man wrote the law for man, or the law wrote the law for man. Which one? Yes, sir. Folks, I really want to commend President John Dramani Mahama for this bold step. I will mobilize it. We any nyoma, the so-called the ministry of God, as a bompire dema President Mahama. So betimi akoswa na wa yire no ho ahodimu na wetimi aye adwuma na wetimi mobilize sika. We ni hia o na nye sa atro na da na musi ho no a mode president na nam sa kwan ne so no. All right? And all what you're saying. Folks, in Tianadri, ye ba share the next barrage of prophecies are ochinani week. Omo professor mo ni me guase basabas mo ni me guase. Na minimo 2024 elections mo hyenkom yakopon gumani ma se poto. Still omo so mo ntijai. One person mo ya me yehu say wo mo mutua abebe o abebe obi so hotel obi so den na mo hwan huhuhu meanwhile paracetamol kra mo ni bi. Folks, you be this uncommon. Of course, my guest tonight Kweku Senti Mesa ono no shares antokwa yi na asemo be kai years ago, about 3 decades I guess. Yeah, mokai program na wo ye Vibe FM ne your friend Nyamesom ye de. I don't know if at that time now utie radio there KSM. Yeah, I'm not sure I say first. I was a young man studying KSM. I was also working at Vibe FM. Yeah. Or shall I say maybe brain tia say, oh, KSM ye bonsam or ye say. And that no. And there was a yin siri, yani KSM bidding common. Of course, ye be saying so Aqua America and ye Ron Kenoly, the manager ono so na ohwe ne bibia wa America ne Ron Kenoly mission okoya all over the world with his music na sefo ye ne bedi nkomo ora Kwame Ajiman Boache Dankwa oye minua prekope minua no and ono so ye ne bedi nkomo ne eulogize friends Ron Kenoly ne nima added na kono folks. Minimum didn't come call a friend, call a brother, call a sister. You know, this weekend from Daniel Fanyoma and to Sunakuma. Up next, Midimura Ghana Speaks proudly brought to you by Biogas Expert Engineers. I am Ope and Nemede Adiaba could be a mount, a debea. Quaya ye faswa, ye lay tiles. Caneno, why ready? Obe Frema, ya fatality free Germany, and now Turkey, I guess. Now what they about, it good container with the about. Ebeba bedru ne emu be half na abobo. The disadvantage in so a what tiles a yeto ho sesi an say fa ne say bibia si na tiles no be and nine bi within living room na apaya as I say den ye kwohwehwe sa tiles no ne be plan ye be side be fixing na ho eno na sesi an kutia ya ye nya biom any ahwe din ne yesi no Biogas Expert Engineers as ye to me system no ye yetumi aden akodare wo system no mu pa ehu bibia sonko eden ne hu sisi ayanka se hu se no eni atena sin ya manufacture chemicals nem ne nyoma keka materials abom ye di fi amano ne ye de bio ene na wo hu wo screen so no ya keka nyoma esi ni fe beautiful eni sisi ye tiles no wa now tiles we na ye no we enye de ye fix no ye ba wo living room ana say ye ba say ye babe ye ufie ho from living room to your bedroom to all the rooms, you know. Ye babe yini na come. Ye was special materials ye combine ya. Ye de yes adiwe. Now we the beauty of it in say tiles we ye wia. Ye bedroom ye all the rooms. Ye wia ye were dear friend of compound tiles and so ye call compound wa near kwakwe de say yo fe now we Edem hole and the aye way come. Now the beauty of it is that here we be painted tiles we ye painted so come on. Unlike the tiles na ye kofa de bano and no color be omo ye de bebo ye de beshisha who we na papa ye no ano unya the same as ye den okope different one mismatch near the beshisha but ye you will quite ye painted so come very beautiful. State of the art. Oh, I mean, can you say state of the art 2026? The be American TME. Enti mo amwe simu dan deda. Amunyan totals mesrel. Bramifi has say the front line. Your numbers ni gu ono. What I say? Biogas expert for me no am na yeduma. I'm a project coordinator. Kodwa wono enso a project manager. Ye behwa bibia come. Edan we a wo hwem we tiles na ya ten de kono. Ye wie na ya na painti so fe neat hwe we nso I say ancient. What I say? Ye be tiles na nti wa we si ufie na se bibi enye yi a. Unyan totals na tumrika na fre Biogas expert for ne mama ma. Inti wenim na bedrooms na ya na fefe na ansa na ya compound po e de amount mo amorane retail supermarket shops na mane ade ene mo nso a mo run to say corporate organizations banks institutions fuel stations ene and sorry lekusu any lekusu for we compound ye na fefe na ye a wo cars be say do betimi parking na compound there one wakra na say wo kata bia na wo drive tractor wo de wo twini tractor fa tractor no to say bulldozer febisi so empire meka dia ne tiles na ye ndade bi no fiwura empire enye hwe due to the materials na ye dia ye ninti empire what I say eba be si fi ho isi ho kama what I say kama empire kra and sana ye fiwe ya ye wo supermarket de ebetimi aye wo supermarket a frey ne emra me ene ye kan say mo amorane to say warehouse nso ebetimi aba be bi e de amount mo amorane to say supermarket nso eno nso yebetimi aba be bi e de amam wo ho any fuel stations, industries, companies, industrial complex ni nara no matter how the size eba be ni na fefe de amama ahye wenumnyam afi so fa ne say a bank and I say a corporate organization be insurance companies ni na ebetimi aba ba ye bi ewo ho de amama mo amosom run fuel stations for the avoidance of oil spillage my kwan ni emra ni emama ni na kama enfema bibie no Beyama wankasa ujino ho utimo say yes na no no ho we ye wia it's afebo empire enye hwe na ye wia na opese ye painti so mo na ye painti so. Then again, let me say this quickly, ye painti so wia fa ne say bia bosumi nsia ana afe baako wo se color na ye dia ye painti no opese wo se san color no ja nkrachefoi ye best san color no te say bibi say near ya wipe colorway near side another color atoso the amount o shopper obi ura wo shop must say mami enrich ya me buy ne ya sen asesa fence tiles eno na kire say yes sub in previous on so wo hobi na je why on crutches and why on ura basem no na fe e de ama eno so cry train customers eba and sorry na mudi ni kurama mo ho no leku su eni leku susufo no osofu beni mayemre ni emeye tiles e wa sofi o kama na oni ade ebe ye ba ye de we image wo osofu no we image ye betimi aye we image e wo tiles ne mu eni pesi aso dem ho say Reverend Anoche Reverend kwabden entry ye kama pa Reverend Kweku entry when ye bi pa kama neat pa any neat emema na ye adwuma no what you say ni han fefe the amount me sell any you actually going to finish it me sell ubia real estate for mutimi be fire ye ba be ye mo dan ni na e the amount yanka say ye si dan opedan ato opesi si dan ma opesi ye roofing ma your company so a ye roofing what you say we are a company of many parts opesi ye boho bibia de ma wa ni na adwuma your number send the good screen is 055 589-3001 and that's 0546-205377. I repeat 0546-205377 and that's 055-589-3001. Now my main can say so what friend number simu biana unya just a company nimpini for your course site. So what you do is a now WhatsApp, so go on WhatsApp na store what stores a biogas expert for. Then what you do is this. No one run a voice recording amaye. Our body baby will send a message in a free. You better contact her back. Na ye ba ye bibi ani who say na we here. So no. Na bibi ya kama. The amount Emma edi akwenum. Great. Up next, politics of today tonight. We continue to take a closer look at the disturbing rise of lifestyle prophecies and their debilitating effects as they creep into the social and moral fabric of our society. Some renowned men within the body of Christ have now weighed in on the growing concern. The pressing question, however, remains: how can the body of Christ address this weakness and prevent total spiritual enslavement? And then the movie room. I feel they are softening be brave, crass with them who say, ade we say the air corner as a say and sorry na sorry afi they are so from penifo no obi ehun say no, there is a need say they have to wake up because they find themselves on the wrong side. I mean there's a slumber. They have to wake up from their slumber because kwanya sa these dirty prophets if we they bring many of them drop out for they bring drop out. So what drop out a free school and your bonnet kwanzu na kwhwe adwuma bi still bender ho carpentry ho mason enuma bebre di sika bebre nipa da bi na wakogirejina bebre so ye wo mo ye saint for bebre ye nsama mfrefo bebre saint on frefre saint wa frefre saint ni sa oye ya ohwa hadi on so no ade metumi kra mekọ ministry ma be yi weni bete na wakọ join group bi ade achia na ye say hey wa ben ko started sa wo hye nkom kwasiasam nko a And our system is not making any provisions for these people so we can eradicate them. Anyway, maminchia me mami we. Ma Sandra, michia pao. Minya message from Mama Sandra. Ma Sandra, I greet you so much. And I've heard your message. I don't know if you are still watching the show. God bless you. Okay, Mami, Kweku Elbernared was used by Yabum prophets to prophesy can win just to save their face in the eyes of the general public. Okay? What they are working on. All right, folks. But before you call Sight and Sounds, and then our guest KSM Ebi Unity, I told you, say yes, this greatest gospel singer of our time, Ron Kenoly, has passed on. And of course, tonight, see it to me, a kakai when he said, Nani Nyomata say, Yinia or ye Ghana Nipao or ye Minia, Kwame, Ajiman, Boachi, Dankwa, no ye, ne, your friend said, the manager of United States, all right? I sure the Nakwa Pro, baby breed, and about Ghana, a whole lot. But Mami and Komobi, a course, between Ron Kenoly and at the time of more stage, now or more Edo Nyankopun maybe it. Take a lesson, watch this and watch it carefully, and then we'll be going to United States to speak to Kwame Ajiman Boache Dankwa shortly. Who said take a listen to this.
My soul will make its boast in the Lord. The humble will hear and be glad. And this next verse has been so close to my heart for 43 years of ministry. Oh, magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. I sought the Lord, and he heard me, and he has delivered me from all of my fears. I am here in Ghana, and I am surprised that you called my name to come up here. I just wanted to support my good friend Don Moen, because Don Moen is the one who brought me to Integrity Music 32 years ago. And of course I have been blessed tremendously by the music of Moses Bliss. And so I am so blessed to see how many young people who have taken the mantle of praise and worship and taken it to higher levels than we even realized 30 years ago. God bless you. I am here in Nigeria because Nigeria, still forgive me. I'm here in Ghana because of my good friend, Mr. Dankwe, Kwame Dankwe. And anyway, last year, you want to talk about this or you want me to? Oh, okay. Last year in America, we both received an award from the President of the United States. We both received the Presidential Gold Volunteer Service Award for the work that I have done worldwide, advancing the kingdom of God and helping sponsor children for the World Vision Organization. Kwame was there receiving an award also, and we met. And he shared something really important to me. He said, did you know that you could be a citizen of Ghana? And he explained what was happening. So we got together and here we are. I will soon have my Ghanaian residency. And beyond residency, I look forward to being your brother as a Ghanaian citizen. You can now call me Kweku Kenoly. My soul will make its boast in the Lord. The humble will hear and be glad. And this next verse has been so close to my heart for 43 years of ministry. Oh, magnify the Lord with me.
Great. So, folks, just gone past Minister Ron Kenoly together with Kwame Ajiman Boache Dankwa on stage. So, no, Kwame Eminia Penny. Papa American. He's also a security expert. He's a security and intelligence expert. Kwame is a man of many parts. What I say? Yenye de do ahonian kasa o nye de do bibia cool. But then again, quickly, the White House actual krate bi dia ma yenue Donald Trump assign sa document in. Mamin kan sa documented, but of course we'll speak to Kwame shortly. Mamin kan krata na White House. And this is coming from the US President Donald J. Trump. The American story depends not on any of us, not on some of us, but on all of us. I congratulate you on taking it upon yourself to contribute to the public good, and I am proud to present you with the President Lifetime Achievement Award in recognition of your 4,000 hours of service to this great nation. Throughout our country's history, the American story has been strengthened by those who combine an optimism about what can be with the resilience to turn that vision into reality. I know I am not alone in recognizing that those who are willing to step up and volunteer in service of community and country are essential to the ongoing work of forming our more perfect union. By sharing your time and passion, you are helping discover and deliver solutions to the challenges we face, solutions that we need now more than ever. Also, we are living in a moment that calls for hope and light and love. Hope for our futures, light to see our way forward, and love for one another. Through your service, you are providing all three. On behalf of the American people, I extend my heartfelt appreciation to you for your volunteer leadership, and I encourage you to continue to answer the call to service. The country is counting on you. Of course, this is coming from the White House. Now, do I have Kwame on the line? Great. Minye enin komo Kwame Ajiman Boache Dankwa. Of course, he's a Ghanaian based in the United States. Of course, on managing Minister Ron Kenoly in all his ministry endeavors. I mean, going all over the world, including say a visit by Ghana in the year of return 2019. Kwame, and again, our condolence to you and the entire group back in the US.
Great.
Kwame, what's the main car? Mon connect Kwame line here, mame. Do we have Kwame there? Great. But me maintaining Kwame. Kwame, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Kwaku.
Hello, Kwame.
Yes,
yeah, but I can't hear. I have to hear Kwame's voice. Okay. Hello. Yeah, Kwame, what's the main Great. Okay, Monfa Kwame tagging into it. Kwame, first, more condolence. One Ibusiafo Mugu America Honia, any Minister Ron Kenoly for this great loss. First of all, give us a sense of understanding the ministry, his exemplary order lines cannot pass unnoticed. What do you think his music, and to what extent that the music has impacted on the global ministry of Christ?
Kwaku, first and foremost, no, mede asedama abusiafo nyina ne na dofu nyina omo wiase, including you, because so what my airtime here, yes, will be anti enka. So And yɛda wase bebree for adwuma a woyɛ ɛne adɔfo nyinaa ɔmo bi a ɔmo ne ne biara, because this is a loss to the world. It's not only to me. Anaa Ghana ɔyɛ global icon. Yeah. So it may started by saying my encounter with Ron Kenoly, truly it was impactful because yenya joint recognition. A free president volunteer service award. A Florida has United States. So you decided to be embark like you take a journey to Ghana to explore business opportunities near other things, especially because I can't share the ancestral route, a free Ghana no crowd na TVs medene ba also a fancy because the parents, the grandparents no catch any say or fancy. So it was like oral tradition. It was nam ni nyina no onim say the route here then Ghana. Enema bebree na dream Ghana tembianti. When we met suggestively ohun say me a family member. What you say?
Yeah.
My deep desire to explore more from him. So we started talking and a year bebree. We are alusu enema panyi pana music just a life transforming music, because with your lyrics ubi tie de biana. So even if you are down emotionally, psychologically, that is a revival. Intini you lose to nipa kesi power we asipa.
I see. Kwame, sir, ushe ni nyuma watu so far ewo wiasia. And if you want to measure it by the Christian community in America, in Africa, and all over the world, to what extent, I don't know by what measure you can figure out, say, he has impacted on a lot of, God's people, and by stretch of this way, impactful journey, Ron Kenoly cannot, his exemplary ordinance cannot pass unnoticed. Who is this very gentleman?
This very gentleman was so passionate, God-loving person, and like can say globally, to me, Ron Kenoly's music, he touched the entire community globally. So to me, it was a win-win situation. So, it's in a share for the man Presidential Volunteer Service Award. President Biden a man award Mimiku Shiano way back 2022. So, it's immeasurable. Or you be he sang to the core or to jump na cow so no more. It is a wankasa what transnational lyrics and now. This is not an ordinary man. As to be kasacho na problems or can solutions in NHL. That is what the music is about. Every music be our producer be what if you soak it in it strengthens you. So who say a idea a life transforming now or decided say obey training so many people. That's why they almost are walking in the shadows. Iti yeba Ghana no say we initiated something Mount Crest University. No, so YPC started training school. So we trained about 150 people because we wanted to use that place as a base. The infant touch Africa. Now Nipa on person also through music ministration almost beat me nyankwa. What I say? Iti during Sahani money it me a nema bebre. I mean it me boy nipa bebre for them to grow personally and then professionally, and then spiritually, that is what we did.
I see. Kwame, if I'm to ask you personally a question, what do you think you've lost as far as Ron Kenoly is gone? Would you say, is the job done, finished, is gone, or still believe that it's a lost and unfinished business?
This is an unfinished business because the man has planted a seed. Wetimia changes so many lives, not people in Ghana, but globally. Because when you're able to touch somebody's psyche, will be a dream one. Now with me transform Abina. What transformed the entire community? That is what he was doing. He was bringing the gospel to the people for them to have life transforming this. So to me, he had a beautiful soul. As you see, the legacy, cannot be erased. Because, he was such an icon, such a bold man, such a lovable man, daring man, a prayerful man. This man would never come in without praying for me. I said, Kwame, let's pray. You understand? So you can imagine, say, Nehemiah Yelusu, a global icon. Ron Kenoly was a leading people. I mean, no, a worship leader, or no, who knows, a musician. Was he was a worship leader? How he impacted decades across culture, connections, inspiring worship leaders globally, or mentor so many people. He was a father. Our dedicating his life to worship, spreading God's word, and then inspiring people all over the globe. And you cannot erase such a person. So his word is the footprints, are indelible.
I see. Do we have a replacement? Kwame, what's the main can? Let me be said. Do we have a replacement of him now that he's gone?
There be ultimate, because he was a unique person. Ubia ne kuta ne identity. Ubia kuta ne kra. The aura around that man cannot be replaced.
Yeah.
What I say.
Yeah.
And all over the world, it has become like an international anthems.
Yeah.
To so many people. There's not a single day papa kwesiade bia twemwa asori bia embonenyum.
Yeah.
It is a national anthem, drawing people to connect with God. It is such a person, he cannot be replaced.
Wow.
Why?
Wow. Obi sending a message say me say Ron Kenoly na or sorry wa America or tia sorry wa America memo and one tia sorry.
Ron Kenoly and tia sorry but administration through music.
I see.
On tia sorry. Me de me share na I share no or catch them say for the first time was Kwame me manager all my life before. But me new share you are the type of guy I've been looking for, so you are my manager. So I started managing him. Yeah, but Ghana na me managing him.
Yeah.
On the quiet, yes. And so far as I know, only in the church is through ministration, music ministration already. It transformed lives. To me, it became a memorable moment for everybody.
Good. Kwame, just a recap. Na Ghana no na usha ne bota pa na niema ben bisa na no opese ohwese nchemoba no obeba be impact the people of Ghana, so na niema bi ne say.
First and foremost, ohun is why Ghana ni.
I see.
Because of the nina nanomo kache ni say or of Ghana no see of the coastal belt of Ghana, especially or see or Fantini.
Hey,
me free Ghana no. Because of the oral tradition, I handing over
exactly
generations to generation. On Namdebiana was catching the Kwame, I'm a Ghanaian.
Oh,
to whom one was any brother ni, any eba, 18 or Babe identify the roots. No, start catching me say, now about Ghana before, I bet to jump. Or Central Gospel. But Oba Central, no, in fact, I mean, I respect Pastor Benson, but also by no, or them. It was not time to explore Ghana. So when I brought him to Ghana for the second time, I made me driving around town. He got to see Ghana, and I say, hey, I didn't know this place is so beautiful. So I took him to so many places, including a Jubilee House, including Gamanche, Yakosra Gamanche, Emma Gamanche Crack and say, growing up, they grow up, even Tembia, sorry, or organist, or see the Bianino Noble. And Gamanche even says, Kwame, I want to initiate a festival on behalf of your friends, the Ga people. Every year, so our festival, Ron Kenoly will come and play and to unite people and spread the gospel. So that is how it is. And we were for a mission to establish a music school and then also spread the word of God and Ghana, Nigeria, and beyond. That is why we came to Ghana.
Wow. His exemplary order lines cannot pass unnoticed. He's a great, an iconic and one of the greatest gospel singers of our time. Kwame, we've lost a great guy. And I'm sure, sir, he also impacted on you personally. Your spiritual life, your spiritual growth, and all of that. Yes, I did. Kwame, Jensen, money, the Mnumi, and Yedipa.
But inside out, no. You cannot be perfect, but then the grace of God no keeps us going.
Yeah.
So it's so many was some unshared videos and pictures that they are not out there because he was with me, I was with him. It never be Brianna, Miss Nujama, as a Ghanaian, as an African, as this, I was here carry on. Especially that's why they call Mount Cresa. We gathered about 150 people and they started training people. We even sang with some of the students. Me now had their unshared videos. They are not out there. And we will continue. All that we need is the support of the government, the support of the people. Like what we are doing now, you're an amazing guy. Your platform is an amazing. One my platform for us to project what he stood for and what he stands for. You understand? Yeah. You also know you are impact maker at the same time. It's stop it. We are going on, and then we thank all the Christian communities. And may be or supporting the dream, the vision in Ubiano. Nina need the Yamias say, and also Mensa, Pastor Mensa, he was the first guy to bring him to Ghana, even though he didn't get a chance to explore Accra until I brought him again to Ghana, and then we took it to the next level. And he, Pantino. So, now I'm open. We can talk about it.
Great. Now, everyone was say. You are into security and intelligence, but of course you could cross into the gospel arena no too, as it were a feature in all of this. Na eye binom so adwenom kesina pa say my religious in yamasu to me affect you in that manner. What do you make of that?
Gogo, this is a whole serious discussion. Say atie for bit here. Maka emre pise ye can the year of return or Ghana, the year of return.
Yeah,
I know, say nobody can mention the year return without mentioning the name of Kwame Watchedagwa.
That's correct.
And I told you because me and I launching the year return for the first time at Washington DC National Press Club. Many akwesi ajima any ababi omunyina no na akufado ebe kasa if it one obi antimenka bi, and I was the first Ghanaian to establish a tourism page on Facebook. I did 14 years Ghana tourist coach. I started showcasing Ghana. Award no. And because of what I was doing, I'm promoting and projecting the image of Ghana and Africa. I also received an award from the Baltimore County in Maryland for standing out for Black community and standing out for Africans. But what my platform now? Make sure the reason why, even though I'm a forensic psychologist and also project management is, my passion is to promote Ghana and project Ghana. For instance, they all came into place. They are all interconnected, interlaced, and interwoven together. You cannot say we are security experts or forensic experts. So this is your thing. My passion is to promote Ghana and to project Ghana, and that's what I'm doing. That's the more reason why I connected with Ron Kenoly.
Good. Kwame, say me do we no wo share ministry with the ministry of Ron Kenoly yourself na mo tre onyankopon asemu through the music. Then you zero down to the Ekos organ and so aswate. Sofo bi na mem no mo de omo ya na say enkom hye atro na da kwotwisam enko an omo ye o mem ha. Muti bi sa wa America wa eya na influence mo on the hills of disseminating the message also through prophetic. What do you make of this?
Yes, of course, me Nyaminipa, because I have a degree in theology as well.
Yeah.
Yes, I took it upon myself. Say me call gospel ministration mudia. I was saying the mission and the account. So I have that. It is a mission who say money be mission. Okay. Let me who the Ekos Ghana now. Of course, as being a forensic psychologist, I'm a psychologist. So me who and your money be brasof no be na. They play on people's minds. They tell people what they want to hear, but the spiritual backing is not there. You understand? The vulnerable na they become victims. A honor and I will see it minya you be a best streamlined people who are just playing on people's mentalities. We do away with them.
Sure.
Because to me, it's not proper. Nipa be brave, a common edu and they be mabaya suffer and the only means one bit me did the answer they have congregation behind them and people remember say nipa be brave super solution, spiritual solution.
Exactly.
It is if you speak their language now, they become vulnerable and they follow you. We need to smoke out those people.
Exactly.
This is what it is.
I love the last portion. We have to smoke them out. And
we have to smoke them out of their house.
Yeah.
We need to smoke them out of their house. And then because if we don't strip them naked, the nonsense will continue.
Exactly.
And we shouldn't entertain that.
I agree with you. Great one. Kwame Ajiman, Boache Danko, of course, the man of many parts. Kwame, you better was for this moment to we'll gauge the space and knows I'm sure say the funeral will be coming soon and you better touch base with you to also see how the funeral of the great iconic singer no said no so call na oni edisa nkom. You better was ni eja okwan every pan best I know attach base. Thank you very much, Kwame. Okay. Great.
Kwame Nyamenka obia ho. Yes, obi odon wi nyame ensha obia for having such a great one. Thank you.
Yes, of course. Kwame Ajiman, Boache Danko, of course, is a man of many parts. I'm sure you've heard it. Or no, and I know Boa a year in Yumtuni Kasewe. There's a reason why I asked the question. Ron Kenoly. No, sorry. Antia sorry. Nti dia meka se won hwe o onyankopon wadwuma ayeye wa asase so no ana se asase so ayeti as long as ye na ye nipa no nyankopon na ebo yin and God has entrusted in all of us a certain sense of responsibility. Do your job and yet chenchina se ename enemy hu we enemy so na nyankopon ye mi say no obi si na me de kotra he na prempa assembly na fa hense ni nsem hu no mu di kire edwumi bi a wo ye dia no kai na sha no so say it's God's chosen responsibility. Get it done. The oti you can saying edwumi wo na wo di dwa o ton ade ama ye nya aduane edi no wo ye nyankopon edwuma Messi ni na wo si dan no wo ye onyankopon edwuma carpenter ni na wo bobo no wo ye onyankopon edwuma na carpenter ni no so wambo eya office chairs nam na sefo a president office no obenya desk a transfer atro bisawo se Messi ni no wantna se amfa hama ambobo ne mamu a me say president no the first gentleman, the first executive obenya kunyani table atna so atro yenya ya can say yet me formulate policies ukọ parliament wa say nyoma sisiwo enua ni chairs ni sisiwo hwanim na ye comment afo Messi mfuoi wo mo na mu si dan amenye baby di etito so we den we bu Messi no we bu no abonfia sa lawyer no eso okọ assemdi bio obekọ akoto judge ho na on judge na trans no ma pensem nsem de enkoye ndi atoyie ema asomdwe aba nyesa na tie de oti dom ho na woton ade obeton ade aduane ama me ne umie ni ema yenya bi adi anapa wiane anado ede na obvious way nye yankopon adwuma no journalist na eso obetena ha anapa wo ma timu anapa wo ma timu ewia wo ma timu anadwo de na wo ye yeso mebu diuro nsem bi wo ma wonte obra no meda sa asem nedi obvious de na wo ye na monko ade moyi mu ho soronko se moya asoro abofo bi oseden o enti nipa nyina moyi mu asem fema mo na moye nipa no otwease e na mo ma dwen kase edamuti musimu de bedidi ho na masei motio o de sei onyankopon di papa no a ono onyankopon ekura no o se me kwa how wicked am ye won me se onyankopon ade o de be mo so the rest of us ye edwuma ba mo say no mo be fa onyankopon ni din no numa siniti asese numa kansam bone adidi no edi aye bone etia onu ankasa onyankopon abode asem we what bi da wo ode onyankopon di pa no tio ne nyanse mu no ode onyankopon ni dimpa no ode kwakọ sei onyankopon abode na ono wase de nya no ho mfaso he boni ati sei asotwe we be na onyankopon yese ode mamo obi say ho sa asem no because on when him say no asori ode onyankopon din ato so ote aso dem a oye ikikoma gadu sei ni ko ni braka keka woni leku susi on when him say onyankopon timi bi anim and all this dada to wadwene so say he is about to sell you hope no the hope any daso bi no bonsam but ode onyankopon din no de abata ho ade akukudura mo de yes ade ni bebi amunye free you ni bibi amunye free but mo wieye ebeba according to 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 8 yakopon aka ho and wasia aka it was Zachariah chapter 13 verse 2 to 7 and also waka ho ebre amwankasa mudin mo mpese ebebu mudin pobiom nyame nam kan yakopon na kan boni ni munyai tonight we take a critical look at some prophetic fashion and styles and how they subject church members to horrific treatment. Maybe both video actually show in the name of what? God's name. In God's name, wonyankopon dimu shabonia and the healing bayana wu healing bay just obey healing we no na wase ama oyare healing bay me both video actually show so oye prophetical so oye healing no just minima the open about me are describing so also heavy no we are for information about say din any pay oye take a listen to this carefully watch carefully adia oye take a listen. Can you figure it? Bring one basa na all bring one so mo so agia to me say nensa no a wodi bring one kra no or impacting yankopon nhira wo mo so like seriously black people, these people of color, who are we? Why have we sold our conscience to this fake people, these liars, crooks, these rogues, scavengers? Let me greet these following persons. They are watching the show. Face Max, US, Osha program, the Face Max. Salute, bro. Popolampo, Michael Popolampo, of course. Sakama, Oya filling station. I Munamudit Manamame. Also, ratio no pa. Any Panamodos, Modos, yes. Now, tonight, we spotlight a self-styled, self-acclaimed, self-imposed prophet who has openly lashed out at his colleagues over what he describes as the abuse of the prophetic ministry. Maybe both video actual. On can say one of them. On yes. On can say self. Ubehu ni nipa bai. On can say no or self-star. On can say self-imposed or self-acclaimed, and he's part of the notorious fake prophets. But in Yabre, he's an outsider looking in. But now, he has lashed out on his colleagues, said meanwhile, on one case is as guilty as charged. But I think there, he has the right, says wedding, or taking the fellow prophets, he takes them on. Like seriously, Nasem is saying, listen to this man. Do you know him?
Once of social media, and a moon kwasiam komisha kwa na munim tase difo ma mushasha san kwasiam komno uko difo kwa babu sa wo shem kom na memo yenku odi ase na Deuteronomy chapter 18 verse 20 also difo bi obeka asem bi na memo wurade din mu no sa wo difo ne yenku edu obesha kom se ba onu ya be wini sa ba omu ya wini a esi ekum wo obesha kom se or the say Kennedy Japan be winning na Kennedy winia esi ekum wa be sha nkom say mama be winning mama winia esi ekum munye san kwasi nkom hye ne tricks no na munim hwe munim how you invoke the spirit munim how to burn candle munim how to burn incense and so for ye can some chira wonni no but na brofo because the brofo dey this of one brofo dey ngan o me ka chira because and the need to of apprehended comprehended and eschatos circumstances me nkeka bi ba se nyama me sword so tenase a minim sunsun kwa me frɛ no o dey say me say o kama sem no mfiwa na me dey me yo onso hye fa nipa da nso nwunu ne fa nipa nti agada me nkasa kwa ba me kasa with power and authority nti okwa me na ka chira o so wo ya me hye wade mo so fufo na muti social media kwasiasam ne kwasiankom hye na mo hye no kwasiankom hye kwa na munim da say difo mo hye san kwasiankom no okwa difo kwa bible say wo hye nkom na mo yenku o dey say na Deuteronomy chapter 18 verse 20 also difo bi obeka asem bi na mbem owurade di mu no sa o difo ne yenku edu obehye nkom say ba onu ya be wini sa ba omu ya wini a esi ekum wo obehye nkom say or the say Kennedy Japan be winning na Kennedy wini a esi ekum wa be sha nkom say mama be winning mama wini a esi ekum munye san kwasi nkom hye ne tricks no na munim hwe munim how you invoke the spirit munim how to burn candle munim how to burn incense and so for ye can some chira wonni no but na brofo because the brofo dey this of one brofo dey ngan o me ka chira because and the need to of apprehended comprehended and eschatos circumstances me nkeka bi ba se nyama me sword so tenase a minim sunsun kwa me frɛ no o dey say me say o kama sem no mfiwa na me dey me yo onso hye fa nipa da nso nwunu ne fa nipa nti agada me nkasa kwa ba me kasa with power and authority nti okwa me na ka chira so wo ya me hye wade
or see then circumstances be ni den no keka sa na wo kan inima de crawl but e just so there woni na so feel e ja e de wo eja de wo minim bonfire pa wo minima de bonfire na ye wo mo ye nioma hu sa enioma wo mo de frighten nipa. Tonight we exposed yet another badge of self-style, self-acclaimed and self-imposed crooks who on the bandwagon dishing out yet another round of prophecies during the just ended flag bearership race. Over the weekend, Monday, Wednesday, be a number of prophecies among Anadui before my guest Bebano and Oba joining me now. My main sama another batch of these prophets who will be whom Nashe they maintain the road that we are saying this and we are saying that with a hope or they believe that the angel has spoken to them. And the angel spoke to them about what? About who is coming. And the question, why they got it all wrong. Share this badge way, so this group way, na show them. And the catastrophe of taking Ora Kennedy all the way over the bar. Me sure so mama me nua peni kura ni su brim no. Ba won say Monday, Wednesday na me kan say me kire Ghana for. Me de se de odi ni kura na sa na me su meti o. Na me ka kire ne say ono ana o ma ho kwan. Yeah. Ono ana o ma ho kwan. Because Ghana for ni anim no echichichi benche ya abrochimem obi anim say eh dabi Owura Kennedy said the OCN in Nyoma. Any sa self-style as software ni adadaf we. One no more sin ham for him no. Ne ban say and then they met me early on quietly. Into what? And just say and at the time one na say e ade na enye botaye bi say of waswa. Mini bi say Ebra asofo na kasa na adenti ne wan ma bonten ameka say hey ene hwan obi entwa so obi anyai na sem wan ni ade na asofo no wo mo ye mo prediction wo mo ntimi predict bi ma ye owura e kan say e kan say Dr. Edutrum wo mo ntimi predict bi ma no adenti na Kwabere Japan womuntimi predict bi ma no womuntimi predict Kwame Papa Vincent Kwabere Japan figure say no benya. Anyway, before KSM comes in, me papa chomomi your last video no ne. But before, no, let me bring KSM. Not KSM in mind the perspective we are near about say video no so. Me bed mamu video no wash one womb. Okay? Na we hu say wo ye enipa ben na wo mo sa Venison video no mo ene enioma Womaye so far di guni penima say. Soon I'll be speaking to KSM, of course. KSM Kwekusin Timesa. Of course, said no. This is a man of many parts. Of course, my bed background of Kwekusin Timesa. A TV and a theater director. Waye Niama Bibre Wagana. KSM studied acting and directing in the US, earning a Master of Fine Arts in film production in New York. Of course, he also acted in the US theater productions and appeared on TV, including the series Law and Order, and was the first African to produce an original one-man play off Broadway. Title, Thoughts of a Confused Black Man. He's a man of many parts. Of course, after returning to Ghana in 1997, he became a popular radio talk show host and later created Thank God It's Friday, TGIF, Mobekai, a talk shower, mixing information, discussions, and humor. And of course, KSM, of course, to maintain the status quo, is one of the big, media mogul, media personality, and a man of many parts. Kweku Sintimisa on the line. Kweku, Memoajana, what woman is saying? Kweku, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, Kweku, good evening. What woman is saying?
Yeah, I think I hear you now. Hello.
Good one. What woman is saying, Kweku?
Nyamia Gumbo call.
Wonderful.
Maybe I also it.
Meso dear, many prophets for ya na epem studio has said. Yes.
What is this? Do not touch the Lord's anointed one.
I remember, sir, if not one of your programs on Vibe FM, ne bayen to kwakesie passe. You see, omede warning eba say KSM touch not the Lord anointed na mesi and then you took them on badly and fiercely. Kweku, it's been how many years, if I may guess? About a couple of, if not 2 or 3 decades now. And now,
almost 3 decades ago.
Exactly. And then you took this ministry of warfare on this self-styled, self-acclaimed, self-imposed man of God. Kweku, this is how far we've come. You started the journey, and then we have to follow suit. Kweku, it looks as though the battle is not ending anytime soon. And here we are.
No.
Any baby.
As a matter of fact, yeah.
I
think as a matter of fact, the battleground has even gotten more hectic.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So for me, it's always like very, very refreshing.
Yeah.
To hear that there are people like you out there who are still mounting the crusade for the truth. That's what I call it.
Yeah. Look, take it from another perspective. What do you think the media has done so far and now? Do you think the media is helping the situation? How combative the media has become when it comes to, fake prophets and as for displaying the charlatanic adverts? What do you make of the media's position now?
I think sadly, and I hope I'm wrong, but I think that sadly, most of colleagues follow these pastors. Most of our colleagues support their theories. And it's very difficult for them to take them on because they are their congregation. Your colleagues, they are part of their congregation, or most of them are. So the situation is tricky now. Who could be sorry with your or any prophecies now? No. How do you go in the media to say you want to correct certain things? You can't. So unfortunately, because of the alliances we have with the churches and the various pastors, it is very difficult to take them on when they go wrong. So, when I'm looking for people to really stand up I don't even think of the media. I don't think that we in the media have that concerted effort to make sure that we kill this, I call it religious gender.
Obi say, for the fact to say yes, the politicians are there, they are running the show and all of that. So why don't we concentrate on the politicians who are running the purse, but rather to concentrate on the men of God who are running their business? This is a certain dichotomy. How do you break the ice between the two people? Should we lose the focus on, these self-styled men of God because they are running their own enterprise, and rather concentrate on the men who are running the national purse? Where do we draw the line in your scheme of things?
As a matter of fact, for me, there's no line. The only line I know is truth, integrity, and principle. So if you're a man of God that you go outside the line, I'll talk about it. If you're a politician and you go outside the line, I'll talk about it. So for me, I don't have any distinction whether you're a politician or a pastor or a prophet or an imam. If you cross that line to where integrity is lacking, to where truth is lacking, to where principle is lacking, I'll talk about it. I don't think there should be any line. And as a matter of fact, I think those who say that, why don't you talk about politicians and why are you talking about pastors? No, it is so misguided. For me, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Truth is truth. Right is right. If the politician is on the other side of the truth, hey, I'll do my best to correct him. If it's a pastor, I'll do my best to correct him. If it is me, somebody should do their best to correct me. So for me, the distinction between pastors and prophets, no, I really don't think there should be any distinction.
Good.
That's my position on it.
Good. Kweku, walk us through the path. What did you see earlier than today that you started your ministry way back about 2-3 decades, and now? What did you see that we didn't know?
Well, the first thing was this. Before you was a buyer, I came with a film that I shot in the U.S. and I was going to release that from Ghana. That was long ago, when we had all these movie theaters, videos. I came with a film, and when I came, my sister took me to a certain pastor or prophet to pray for me, send me for a good and I'm going to do work here. So they took me to this place and he was praying for me. And after he finished, he gave me a prophecy. And the prophecy was that I have come to Ghana to do something very, very, very important. But God is telling him to tell me that I shouldn't tell anybody what I'm going to do. Because if I tell anybody what I'm going to do, it's fail.
Wow.
And me, listen to this. So I had come to release the movie.
Really?
And if you're going to release the movie, you have to publicize it.
Exactly.
You have to tell people.
Exactly.
You have to make people aware that say about me, baby. And see, one of the things is, but how can God tell me, say, Mommy, can't you be here? See them, baby.
Like, seriously. Whoa.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it didn't make sense. And from that point, I said, Charlie, I have to be careful with this so-called prophetic, because they tell you things that they think they are making a good guess. So I'm trying to think it's happening in my back, and I'm going to hustle in Ghana until they all go to the country. He didn't know that I had come to broadcast the fact that I have a movie and I wanted to come and see it to make it successful. So that was the first time I started thinking, this could not come from God. Because me is in America, my bomb, but you will sneak over and Obamina, and just successful. We'll see you, Paco. If you do get as far as the mommy can't go here.
Kweku, this is serious, isn't it? What?
It's ridiculous. So that the first time I said, No, this doesn't sound right.
Wow.
You know, it doesn't sound right. And yet they took me to another church, and what shocked me most was when the pastor was waiting for what you call that collection. And then he said boldly, "Sir, Obi back in the days, the currency wasn't the same. So let me just paraphrase back in the day. It didn't look there. No, he said something to the effect that you Obabe Egypto, Wababe 5 Ghana, Obi Swaba, we eat 200 Ghana. It's only if I can one
Asam no.
So I said, wait a minute. God's love is unconditional. God loves everybody. If what you can afford, one CD, He loves you to give with a free and cheerful heart. So when I heard social I said, "Who can say will be my hundred those one to say you know?" So these little things started accumulating, and I said, "No, you know, at least my understanding of God is this is not it.
Exactly.
I understand a very compassionate God.
I see.
You know, so these little and plenty examples of Mama today.
Yeah.
I can give hundreds of examples that it didn't sit right with me. You know, so if you remember, I even started a program on Vibe called Nyamsumede.
And Makada Dada, Nyamsumede.
What can I do?
Hey, KSM, it was something else.
This is the kind of thing Mommy started that program because the world was going as and also for baby
and people were referring your father as a Presbyterian what Sentia didn't fight it, you know, the Christian community in Ghana. And I mean people again, and this was one of a program, hundreds and thousands of people within Accra and beyond were listening to this program, and lots of people learn a lot. I don't know how what happened, and then later this program was cut short.
Yeah. And people would tell me that they'll be listening on Sunday. I was on Sunday.
Yeah.
They'll tell me that they'll be listening on their way to church.
Exactly. So on their way to church, they were listening.
They don't know how to get out of the car because I think they won't share my music.
Oh my goodness.
And I wasn't doing anything fantastic. I was just talking about the common sense understanding of what God is and how we serve God.
The practical side of Christ, period. The practical life of how we should live our lives. That was, essentially how your program was all about.
That was it.
Exactly.
That was it.
Kweku, let me walk you one step. First of all, I want you to diagnose the ordinary Ghanaian. Perhaps you have about 3 or 4 people sitting before you. Try to diagnose and figure out that what is wrong with these people, so they are coming before KSM and asking for direction. Presumably KSM is a man of God out there, so these avalanche of prophets are getting a lot of jobs to do. What is wrong with ordinary Ghanaian?
I think the key thing that we sometimes forget is that there's this basic economic principle of demand and supply. And every time there's a product in demand, business people will make sure that they can supply so that they can meet the demand. Unfortunately, sometimes the demand is so much that they cannot find the product, so they'll bring some fake product because you are demanding it.
Yeah.
And in a strange way, in a very, very strange way, that has crept into Christianity. Because young Ghana, we demand prophecies.
Too much.
So the demand is even to beg for the sharing. So what can they do? They also know that telling that there's a demand for it. So let's supply it. It's this economic principle.
You've said this a couple of days ago, I think about 2 or 3 days ago. So yes. Demand.
Yes.
The demand is high. Wow.
Demand is very high. and what they're demanding is that they want you to prophesy. So you do your best to come and say anything. When if you can't, then you lie. like how you sell the fake product. Obi no gasa be hwe pa chere do ma me yi pa o ma e ma be ku ye wo ma me side. Na wo so asumi o de.
Exactly.
And then when the agents say ya so come. You could find no ma me for ya ka. Could be to men you've been surprised the amount of animosity that has been sown in families.
That is
when
true.
When you bank animosity. And when you look at the word of God, it tells us that God is not the author of confusion.
That is true.
It's in the Bible that God is not the author of confusion, but of peace, of love, and of a sound mind. So for somebody like me, if I'm in a church and the pastor is doing somebody, I'm in a Jonah, setting enmity between Obedience and all this confusion, I can say, this is not from God. Because the God that I know, the God that I serve, is not the author of confusion.
Exactly.
But of peace, of love, and of a sound mind. Anything else, I don't know where it's coming from. So, in a nutshell, because we are so much demand to hear things, and also because we are business people say, hey, what's okay? And then make action. They ain't going to make action. Because of the okay. If you ain't nothing, it would be a declared point in our say, what will should be? Yeah. He was there because he wanted to hear it. There was a demand to hear it. So he sold the product because he was supplying it. So at the end of the day, I think the whole thing, sometimes the congregation will come.
Yeah.
One time will be said, you'll be so careful and said, the own firm was so it's personal. And I'll say, but this I just say, I saw for the main country. Yeah, so we were there. I started the
Exactly. Exactly. Kweku. Now, Kweku, my last question, then I'll let you go.
Sure.
What do you make of Elbernared Nelson Eshen? A week beye ochina, and then we saw it all fell flat. That his prophecy galore of the MPP flag bearership race, and any now by end a year a week beye ochina, and who said this guy was gallivanting across the media space and was mentioning one particular candidate, of course, who you interviewed prior to the exercise, and it's Ababe Dahose candidate name winning. Now, this Elbernared tells us he wants to recoil. I think 1 year he's not going to prophesy, he's not going to do any church and all, even though he'll go to his church events and auditorium, but he will not preach, he will not prophesy. What's your understanding about this guy's, religious stand? Should we say the angel lied to him, God lied to him, God failed, and all of that? Again, he connects other prophecies are Washisha Abim Nasifo. What do you make of this guy's position?
There are so many things I've said that have come to pass. And then my friend said, hey, you are very good at predictions. And the thing that they are calling predictions, trust me, if I could come here so far, the same prediction, a kind of prophecies.
I tell you.
Because the kind of but I just predicted it. I look at something and say, I didn't hear the question. It's just a prediction.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And I think that most men of God have a lot of opinions and they have a lot of predictions. Somehow they have convinced themselves that because that they are men of God and some predictions have come through, and so they'll continue and get into. You know how many people predicted that the Muhammad will win the election? Are they all prophets? Do you know how many people also predicted are they prophets? No! These are people with common sense who can look at issues and say, but unfortunately, the people who say they are men of God and believe that because they are men of God, whatever their own opinion is, they ascribe it to God. I have no qualms in my mind that maybe Professor Nagagezi is more inclined to the NDC. Maybe Prophet Bernard is inclined to NDC. I don't know. They all have their inclinations.
Yeah.
It's okay. I don't have anything against any inclination that anybody has. What I think is sad, though, is that because they are men of God, they think their inclination is a word from God. And so they'll go out and talk about it as such, you know.
Yeah.
So what we have learned from Bernard's case, you know, is simply that, please, you can be a man of God because you are sorry, you're close to God and everything. But don't make the mistake to think that whatever your personal opinions are God's opinion.
God.
You know?
Yeah.
If they get to that and understand that, they'll realize that even the Bible has many, many instances of people who write their own opinion.
Yeah.
But because it's in the Bible, it is taken as a divine word of God, which necessarily isn't so. And you'll be clear on your choice.
Exactly.
You know, one quick example, then I will leave you to finish with you. Is Kwekwe.
Yep.
You say God is all knowing. You say God is almighty.
Yeah.
You know
all
everything.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me show you a story in the Bible, which made me question. Say, does God know everything? The story is when he told Abraham to go to Isaac.
Yeah.
The story said, Charlie, or test Abraham. I said what he will do. And when you read the Bible, Abraham obeyed, and just before he killed Isaac, they say God told him, hold on. And God said, for now I know that you will not withhold your holy son from me.
Exactly.
So God is saying, for now I know. It is an only.
Sure. Correct.
You see, so for me, it is because whoever was writing the scripture then assumed that God didn't know and he filled it. And instead of us to understand these things and know that it's not that God is not all-knowing and understand that it was somebody who was writing it and wrote their opinion in it.
Exactly.
That's what is happening with the prophets now. What they believe in actually, what their opinions are, they come and say that it has come to them from God. And it's not true. Yeah. And I think we all by this time should learn that clearly that if you call yourself a prophet, be very, very, very careful.
Exactly.
When you open your mouth and say, God has spoken to me. Like in the recent case, you know. So did God lie to him? No. The fact of the matter is that in his human mind, he ascribed his human mind to God. And it has been proven that that was not God.
Yeah.
Because God does not make a mistake.
Yes, sir.
Yes, no.
You better was Papa for your insight, and I believe a lot are listening, watching, and on but again, we have to commend you for this great fight. It's been a great fight, walking all of us down the aisle on the path where we find ourselves. Still, we are in through with this battle, and you've left the baton. And we are continuing. In fact, we are even back again to give us a helping hand. And that's a remarkable, side of you. Is continue to champion the cause. I love the part you said. There's a great demand as far as Ghana is concerned. And if the Ghanaian is listening, Mommy demand in Emra from
Thank you.
Demand.
Let's go down the demand.
Exactly.
Thank you.
And then thank you very much. God bless you. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. My brother.
Bye. All right,
okay.
So just gone past Kweku Sintim, Mr. Man of many parts. My senior brother, Yemini War. Vibe FM. Na Udini Juma. Ye two din nyamesumi yede. Minim se na that time we radionica na uti radio. the beauty part of it is that program not Oye Bisu Sunday, and people could listen to Vibe FM before and send at the church auditorium. One person with TSM. Now, Bibrino Abitieno, no more I saw them what KSM is saying, bringing out the practicality of Christianity. And then they juxtapose that to that of what the man of God is saying. So there's a vast contrast. Yeah. And KSM impacted on millions of people about what we need to know about Christianity and the worship of God. Folks, it's been about 3 decades now. Still, Afina, self-style crooks we Can you imagine? Well, Yedin Komoya, Yedin Komoya, Yemo Biadin, Munimasema Iziwa. The self-style, the self-acclaimed, self-imposed. Isaac Owusubempa was sending message about his here. Yedin Komoya. This one, and yes, we will right on set. And we have to delete the message. Owusubempa, your message has been deleted completely. My bobo message say me there are 2 dustbin say bam, and you waste. I got no time to listen to your damn message. Okay, you are fake. Owusubempa, listen, and that's what I'm going to treat you this time. There's a reason I have to open the channel for. Bring all your messages. We and our friend in addition. Me to me, their trace screen is here. I've deleted your message right there. This is what he goes about doing. Obi a programmer. Ye money din kra na ho hyehye say ya. Minim say draw na chi no. No Owusubempa wo so say ntontom na say and once more pobi no okoka na sem wo. What's wrong with you? Untimi ndina ovi. Asofoni na ye din hihye omufie. Man of God, obi a ye din hye ne fie etie de ekọ onko a what's he saying? Folks, make a short break me ba. There's some videos we want me be watch. Another badge of self-style, self-acclaimed, self-imposed, notorious fake crooks, thieves, criminals, parading, masquerading like a man of God. Like seriously? Yeah. Ebekoswa pamosun tama ne mwenim nsu eguase. Sisi ye ka say mwenim eguase. Owusubempa no odikan. Wenim eguase. Akwasi owusu me say wenim eguase. Wenim eguase. Make a short break me ba. Ye beto aso say wo mwenim eguase. This is, of course, a global public square GPS, the Frontline show, the biggest investigative magazine show. Gauge the space in the next couple of what I don't know, the biggest expose, the best so stick and stay. This is the GPS, the Frontline. I'll be right back. Great guys, welcome back, and of course this is your GPS, the Global Public Square, the Frontline show. Folks, tonight we expose yet another badge of self-styled, self-acclaimed and self-imposed crooks who on the bench wagon dishing out yet another round of prophecies during the just ended flag bearership race. Another badge was the in the course of the week, you know. My mama badge way next week, yes, I bet so. As me the movie re-expose and check. But take a lesson, watch them, and watch their identity. Take a lesson.
Honorable Kennedy Japan. Ma onyai politics. Adia onsre nyame. Ne nyame mfa nom no eye nkwatentin. Apomden nkwatentin sanse. A time is coming. A time is coming. A brebi ba. A brebi eba. Se otumi eye ni awoso ye. Se die tibia Robert Naga na konya kese so. Muntie me, tie me, tie.
Let me tell you. I said
what's your name there no? Papa no was on sending messages say, "Hey, Akwesi bro. Kwesi o bro. What's your name there no? A time is coming. A time is coming. What a a time is coming. A time is coming. Any a casaben no. I don't know what it means. A time is coming. What is that? Hey. Any a casabe guys roll back na mintiadium. A time is what coming. What is that? What is he trying to say? Come on, take a listen again. Yes, and any view.
Honorable Kennedy Japan. Ma onyai politics. Adia onsre nyame. Ne nyame mfa nom no eye nkwatentin. Apomden nkwatentin sanse. A time is coming. A time is coming. A brebi ba. A brebi eba. Se otumi eye ni awoso ye. Se die tibia Robert Naga na konya kese so. Muntie me, tie me, tie.
let me tell
You know why? I want to stay a while longer with Bempa Dio. Bempa say what? A time is coming. I know the infantry. Now here comes the trick. Or say, so oye dear SS warrior. And then as oye. I know to infantry. No, more person will navigate you be toward the homeland, alright? Or person nipa make a landfall. So a time is coming here, okay? So yeah, the SS always say they be on momo for these goddamn crooks, assholes, crooks, and a braba for one no. They give a prophecy no the conditionalities either at one mount. Oh yeah, dear, so yeah, and then also we sin winning as well. Yeah, I could chiffon na dafo, nipa bonny for, and I must say no. Oh yeah, dear, so yeah, then as well. A dear, and I saw ya, and no, that conditionality won't mean for count. So I know you go some the catch them. Me say, on Yankopon Amau in a dear say, Brabeka, a dear necessary ya, Sardeno, on to me for count and family and to that, and by the way, and an old Babon Timber can day. For the SSON, for in our council, on Yankopon catch me say, so yes say 1, 2, 3, every year. No young Ghana for the young judge will say yes. Who can he say Chirano? 1 year and year. Now so ye dear so ya dear bear. We are about to work can some foolishness at the training pass and need your count kukuma ye a da for na brebeni. A 2 floor a da for my yodium somebody ne could do the slaughterhouse. Yes. On the movie. We can also say the project is over. Maybe anyhow. Guys, my family is on a message we call the band. They took my mom morning and said they took got him. That's been a dash it there. Useless message. Me kind of platform is so and will be using in coffee with the message about useless indeed. Absolutely repugnant. Useless rocks. Oh, but damn, with charity, you need to be told in plain words. I need to tell you in plain words and in plain sight. Me kofi answer. What the baby answer? But this time you nyadaje. And I mean broke also. Me ma what the abamo. Uba ne there 2 dustbin. I have my reason of doing so. I want you to learn sense. But I'm what? Office will be our. You think so? Absolutely balderdish. You rogue scavengers, good for nothing. Moving some more boy my Ghana man survive and I said Jack Montuaso, Yantuas Nienche, the barrage of these useless people. I went to Yanfani Panen could do. Share a number of them who gave prophecy to this fine man. Show Nana Americanum. Say yeah, no ma kwan e mo ba na akwam and the kwakumi nim hu bio because many na ye two sa akwan to no e na obi be ka oh dey bia me ka o me say nipa no nam a no kwa ete say abebuo bi ade bia me bu say sebe mprediasa say woni wabo kraman wo fie na wo pie na kraman ni di wachi no mo kwa bon say na kraman na asan e wo nechi no wo hwe ade but nipa da sani ni wonam wasan wo ni trim yet no di wachi me de me tie no na wasan na me hu se waye branch and only aso for na ekọ bibi omudi na ekodu no monto aso na mo ye nhwe ade a yebesi hu the rest of them. Take a listen.
Tell you, I said let all the delegate come together, let them stand for one. All of them, you are in Japan, let them campaign for all other candidates. When they count and they declare Kennedy Japan will win.
Ali 80 we on fair election Kennedy woko more hano Kennedy winning promise now MDC on pomu for we are seeing in campaign. They should invoke all the spirit. They will lose against Kennedy Japan. Me say it's not going to be free and fair election for Kennedy and Japan. After when you say MPP for sitting on Lusu the baby no, they are coming back for it.
Only idea radical
okay, daddy.
And name it then say meka Kennedy Japan attack him. Onshen who see it.
Okay.
When Yami be many no cry MPP flag no. Kennedy Japan. Nyami be many. Nyami we evidence say meka. Be wa attack me. Ba home ne kan. Ne obey be say o kan home ne kan. So munya message where mon can say honorable Kennedy Japan.
Okay.
That he is the next person to lead the MPP.
Wow.
Onshen who see it now he should live long. Or there's an agenda be onshen who see it. The soon physical.
One entry.
True.
And he will not get it. If he doesn't get it, the party will turn their back on him. As for Baumia, he's done. The party, he's done.
Saying something.
And I saw Kennedy coming with wildfire. Oh, I'm telling you, unless people will follow that man, but people will love that she should come.
What is it? Now check in Japan. Now you say you printed Kennedy for president.
We are 2022.
Now check enter. Ma, me say this is what is going to happen. Change you know. Change you know. Once upon a time I say something. But the moon I said the be a chat.
We are 31st.
Kennedy for president. I said to one maybe ask. Now check in Japan. Now you say you printed Kennedy for president.
Now check. Some commission way 2028 in a baby.
2028 and where people best have a power. 2028, yeah. Now the belly the MPP. Oh we know. As for Baumia, onya badindi. Baumia intimini or disappointed Ghana and or disappointed God. Mark my words and see. They will come. But do beti mienya sisia is siniso Kennedy Japan. Ken a Japan on the behold says here Major Mike Yato
and nothing can change it. Yes. In a global it is being faced and endorsing a stamp of butchery. They say you are lawyer. I'm a lawyer no. Why you will not the cocoa be there? I got a channel. Sanity is sealed.
Kennedy Japan will take the mantle.
Yes, sir.
He will bring a certain rep of businessmen. I saw over 1 million businessmen, young men, that are erupting because he was carrying the king.
saw him with about 1 million horses, and I saw men, young men were sitting on the horses, and I saw them running, and I saw Ghana tend to be like Europe. I saw buildings. I saw even old cities have become a new city. I saw Adabraka have been turned like a new city. I saw Makola have been turned like a new city. I saw Kantamanto have been turned like a new city. And the Lord said, He will raise him and raise over 1 million businessmen. Thus saith the Lord. On this prophetic enforcement summit, I put a stamp on this prophecy. Everybody watch it.
It's impossible for Kennedy Ohene Japan not to win the flag bearership. It's impossible. It's impossible. Are you serious? It's like the way a dog cannot fly. Are you serious? That's how impossible it is for Kennedy Japan to lose the flag bearership.
I can't gold back.
Gold in the day.
Cosmically, the all cosmic actuality and cosmic assurance.
Bako, and this is always apart from your mama, no, Obiani Obio, MP before Sakabako.
Kakane Japongo.
Kennedy Bogwa.
Said never tough and never banusi suminaso, MPP go. She date of Bevo Kane Japan, Obi say, Oko, ye be now, but they know, ye they won't no. Me pese o yide ni ma me pepe na de masem kwa wiye
e fa Kennedy Japan
fa Kennedy Japan me twam tron ko ba bia emre bi nyam na be juno project ni ade
yeah one be
yes one year ni kura nti no nti me ba na me mekanti ano bra
16th June 1968
Thursday but 7 December
next elections you better know in the year 2028
7 December
2028 be see that
7
December 2028 yeah, we say be see that by
7 December 2028.
7th December 2028. It's Thursday.
Yawada. Eti.
Yes, in the crowd. And right from Nana Akufo-Addo say Mekai
from Buzia.
Yeah, but number 7 the bar
contemporary.
Mekai say Oka chere me say Abano. Sometimes all guys are not yes sa about one dano.
I am called November.
My catch them says yes sa about one that say kirim
Nana
do obelusu.
Oh you been
on to me when da. But so insisting here to about on the 7th of December nobody any bit me a bit no. Ampani ampa to the 7th December Nana do winning. Me kai pa say John Dramani Mama dear Nanui. You said it. Say men check it day na dey to about na da ben Saturday John Dramani Mama e da ben Saturday enti ye to about no crowd no John will win
enini sasraham sasra yimstra sa poto ama pedina mreku ama Pedina Imreku, Ghanaian actress, beautiful. You're watching the show. Ama, I hope so. When you're yes, Ama Pedina Imreku, we're here show. God bless you for taking your time to watch the show, right? Woman no players no mguano. Woman players no my line up. Woman nim ekuase. Woman enim ekuase. Woman nim ekuase. Amwakwata. Ono in charge as one of my friends saying Parliament Church. Obe shem koma na ise obe put it and then obe so from TV bi anazene. That's the star no. You see, and you mean to win, why do you for Ghanaians and an KS and Mokano? You see, I bet to say hope abedane hot commodity for these self-styled men of God to preach to you, so you go and buy hope when you can motivate yourself. So may you go to them for them to lie to you. Yeah, can say Abranti amosi e friend den ebonowa or hemfa or da so demo ana adentina police for no ko ha no na so fu enim binim this self-style crooks, thieves and rogues, good for nothing, useless indeed. Me do ombe ya nesu ntia so me do ombe tiro fantini beso so wo kiti ho wenum You think I have a respect for them? No. I have men of God that me respect to them. You win them riffraffs. Kona kwashe mesopa minyese mi bu omo nimtese say but that's the real truth. Go ko check omo na background. Who say if not all JHS kromo they themselves know, as Hosea chapter 4 verse 6 will tell you. Woman in the and ometia impact be Ghana ni so. Yes. Nyamenam kan Hosea 4:6 aka ato nimdie no mu nibi school no kra wan kwenu okodru say na to bi to work there. A time is coming. A time is when. A time is coming. And wo bon hwini anasa wo kan brofu bi ni etie. A time is coming. Where? Ba wa hin. That day ni true for kushini na bebeni atro ene mo die ewo men ahoto a ye benyanti na se nya sa hwe video me be yatri video ni pada seniti sa so dem wo ditumi se ani obi produce e de ben na we Ghana police mantimi anche no on my property to say then share property no on my property ben and also for be the nine ashe sadnum the way tia sadness in the name of this republic we you the authorities of this nation should have gotten this guy arrested and jailed. Hey, and you maybe on men who are ye fen yagro to say our legal tender ye sika to me ye Ghana sika anyhow be open ye so more ye chiwa obetimi akọ jail. Oman ye baby to say that your national ID card, your baby to say passport, and you know be no, and so I saw for you to me the diagro anyhow be on mope. Na system nation. Take a listen, show video we na say sa papa we another question every time you pay baby aduaniafa. Hwade a oye kire papa no na asorfo ni gu ho adan wo ho o might say zombies. Because I saw money need that so be into bibi fun way so we need that so the mom on one kasa he's struggling to survive. He's almost being gaslighted. Oni baby onu original. But when so mom go so them on omu ni ade ifra. Listen to this.
Tindiria katunia bari aprika timbiria tuli tebrika tai tuli baswaka bari akanyela kaya aburi bakal abra ai awuri mane bi yangu real akimiri ko tuli. Remove the shoe. Remove the shoe. You shoe no wrong, but one shoe no wrong. Take your passport. Take your passport. Take your passport. This is Kokuroko. Yami Kokuroko. Tindiria katunia. Bari Afrika timbiria. Tuli tebrika tai. Tuli baswaka. Bari akanyela kaya. Aburi bakal. Abra. Ai. Awuri mane bi yangu real. Akimiri ko tuli. Remove the shoe. Remove the shoe. You shoe no wrong, but one shoe no wrong. Take your passport. Take your passport. Take your passport. This is Kokuroko. Yami Kokuroko. Tindiria katunia. Bari Afrika timbiria. Tuli tebrika tai. Tuli baswaka. Bari akanyela kaya. Aburi bakal. Abra. Ai. Awuri mane bi yangu real. Akimiri ko tuli. Bari Afrika timbiria. Tuli tebrika tai. Tuli baswaka. Bari akanyela kaya. Aburi bakal. Abra. Ai. Awuri mane bi yangu real. Akimiri ko tuli. Bari Afrika timbiria. Tuli tebrika tai. Tuli baswaka. Bari akanyela kaya. Aburi bakal. Abra. Ai. Awuri mane bi yangu real. Akimiri ko tuli.
What's he saying? Then I ote then. So one friend when we saw me bought down for, but easier can't some say when all of them, these guys, they all need psychiatric observation. When be yare be amabodin last year, schizophrenia is a disease in which the individual becomes withdrawal and often hear voices and hallucination. When we name here psychiatric observation, I see a show madrimu. Show madrimu pa psychiatric doctors no mo trans BCB so mo nsam nim ne ade. Wo mo nka say hiam wo nti they all kind obetimi aka say say Capri hwan what's that? Mo femra one more time here say betimi I imitate one more time here nhade. Guys, bring it back.
Tindiria katunia bari Afrika timbiria tuli tebrika tai tuli baswaka bari akanyela kaya aburi bakal abra ai awuri mane bi yangu real akimiri ko tuli.
Yeah, be a contest to be any bracer na minimal kana contest near be na front line be che nipa 4 ade na ye be che mo no e kire se ye be se nipa 4 ereheze sa kasa no wo kan no tini you sa ade wo kasa yo kan yenim ba ye be se nipa 4 mo reheze near the mobile studio and I'm be can kire Ghana for no mo san kire ase o kire ase a ye promoters be ready o ma send message go come be so mo check nkrofo ade 4 nti nipa 4 no 4 wo be reheze kasa no wo kan no ne wa be studio nti so wo pesa o record am me mo one more time na record na ko reheze word for word o ana wo pesa o tumi ko ne fie no no a kire wo waboa moare wetimi esua na maba adechede no mintimi moso na emu oduye pa take a lesson for the last time
Timbiria katunia pari aprika timbiria tuli timbiria kai tuli baswaka pari akanyega kai akuri bakai aprai ai awuri mane biya ngurial akimiri ko tuli timbiria katunia pari aprika timbiria tuli timbiria kai tuli baswaka pari akanyega kai akuri bakai
katun ni akrubata kunhwan to boase tieniye wo peso a uwia na wetuka kona so fi oze ora ade me kwa kwaje award mesrewo bo modi ana kire me na me fan kwaje award wo CTV the frontline show kwana show no so na ese mo be kan wie sen obeboa uwia my message wo the frontline show of course your number is 0202973461 folks me the movie see her. It's been the weekend, great show, yeah, the Bremo. Was I hope Papa pay Ebo no wa enfano me mama sending message and I have to read this message. Mrs. Stay. Yes. My Linda wo I will share. Or say hey, this is assault. First video na boy no the comment up and say assault. Na nya assault na be dia. Wo hwe dwuma ye di nipa no wo ho no folks. Enya assault na beden. But of course I say me di musia nyame adoma nyakopon adoma Monday me di adibi be kiremo ye bedu suko baby ye dem ukoya na afini ekura expose ni mo say bam yo ye tihe ya na chese mi yampon yo na owusu be mpa send audio say yenti audio no so no ye owusu bempa ono ena oye owusu bempenti ye ntie video no afre na ne refi say we kogina baabi amma a declaration muntie ne ye mo amokọ so ne mo amone nenam I don't give a goddamn ass man hono wa ma declaration say kweku anan read my lips also be crashing man say where is it make a chere no but they are to also be crashing pressure is still on this platform say we should make a serious report. Say how? I'm busy a group in the 81. Hey. Now no me ejine fidies ni crash ya ka kire ne say ma yankopo kuna wo som no on getting ready. And mama first quarter of the year between now and saying April na first quarter na wie. May, June, July, August na second quarter na wie. Then from August and September, October, November, December, the year has ended. 365 days. I dare you, Bempa. I dare you as you watch me. Listen, with the whole year now, get this assignment done. No, and I know they can't expose you because me expose and me won't come. But as long as I do we be room, we a separate thing na ye be ma Ghana for ni wiase na ehu na ye be sa wo tape no atoto nsenia no na hwede besi wo obi hu de beto the year 2026 it started 25 and e di we be wie every way a woni egu ase woni egu ase poto and Elbernared na we defend no na emum emrantie no a wo mo no wo so wo mo ben wa ma hye nkom untimi nkonkoye ene wo mo ento ayeye nnwom no who could defend enti o nze mo amunim no mo nkohwehwe tape no a one ye kan say okoye wo asempa no ene so no na okofresi mu na mo hwede wi na ni abre a obo abrantie na bas na obi say why na frɛ wo a project we free hin wo ye da de ni ku hwie na brebe ni We are that for, and the political class must know and know quickly. More Baumia group now, more trick in Abamono, and then I'm a teen will be Casa. Montrin Mrim. Montrin Mrim, no media tron cham. Montrin Mrim, a chamo. Yet the moon now fra. Nafumusha dear Muhu. If we are all not getting sense enough, say, it is time we need to what? Separate the wheat from the chaff. Say, aye yo. Adada for na kochifoi ene na brabafoi moma Ghana for asun enu o makakra no bia focus e wo ne nyankopon bo no be wiase because on wo ba no wa meti asore bia or the 2 million or the man keke according to Acts chapter 1 verse 8 or saying the Spirit will come upon you and ye shall be witnesses unto me in Judea, in Samaria, and unto the outermost part of the world. Asore ben or catch us kokojini me yedede asore ben. And earlier me catch on ye na ye onyankopon asomafo ye na so ye part of onyankopon adanside kruwa no. We are all part of it, don't you know? When you see ye part of, we all form the fulcrum of what adansi kruwa no. When you see can be ye part of it, and our officer also for one kwa and nam ya dwene no aye ehuru bebre ba ye nim nyansa ne we are lost knowledge ni ho according to Hosea 4:6 e wo kokin kan. Ate, no munyensem hu no ye di. Folks, me the here. Great show, of course. Hey, I have my guys. DJ Lastic, of course, going to join you shortly. Ono obebon numpa de amon de nyewe bio. Ono obebon numpa, especially more and more rising up into Valentine's festivity. Now, so for gauge the space, of course, DJ Lastic takes over your screens within the shortest possible time. Now, or the nyoma at the to come out. Maybe we see the frontline show, of course. It go all the lengths, you know. So, no mainstream television in your thousands and millions. Of course, most of no online. We online. So the repeated show no online. So go and watch it. Okay? Maybe I come Eddie amount. Monday we are gradually and then when a braya the EBA school we need the proper kwemu the proper kwemu a bus tsunami. No, my goodness. Now bet me jina. Ye twa umpache. Untimi jina ho. Untimi. Pebe wire mbifa kwaye bi mu a fa ho kwahye no beto bi mu anu atom na okọ guys enti wokọ online eso a eda ho hwe mo hwe wo ti so na mo sample repeated na me kyerem to wokọ online so obenya na wa hwe repeated na wa wo so ama unu ebi na unu ebi so ane ahwe. Of course, this has been your Global Public Square GPS, the Frontline show, the biggest investigative magazine show with Kwekwanan and the entire crew. One more bomb me kyerem, of course, Echo Bestman. Hey, the man credible the last time no credible, of course, the man up there doing his actions, and then online editor Kings with the last name hidden. Outside the box, we have online editors, of course, Kofi Ansah, and director of research Kofi Ejiri. Kofi, salute you, great one there. Guys, I'll definitely come your way same time, Monday, 8:05 p.m. You call a friend, call a brother, Kweku has resumed. Niyan sum omai Ghana, niyan redo yankopondi omai ABC. I am Kweku Anan. Bye for now.